Hello everyone. Since you all have been liking our scientific approach towards testing cars and bringing in performance figures, we are here with yet another car's real world performance. This time it is the IMT version of the Kia Seltos. Kia Motors is steadily climbing up the chart of the top manufacturers in India, and the Seltos has played a major role in its progress. It is still one of the best selling SUVs in its segment. As you would know, the car maker strategically operates in segments where there is a demand and offers something unique to a buyer. The Seltos is certainly one, and so is its IMT version, which is a clutchless manual gearbox. We plan to give you an idea about how this SUV sprints, how its in-gear acceleration is, its fuel economy, ride and handling, and more parameters. We will also get to the actual measured space inside, but in the later course of the video. First, let's get to this IMT version's real-world performance. Powertrain choices for the Seltos in general include a wide variety of combinations. For example, there's a 113 bhp 1.5 litre turbo diesel engine that comes mated to either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed torque converter automatic. Then there's a 138 bhp 1.4 litre turbo petrol unit mated to either a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DCT automatic gearbox. And finally, there's another petrol model in the form of this 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol mill that produces 113 bhp of power and 144 Newton meter of torque. It comes with various transmission options like a 6-speed manual, a CVT auto gearbox, and this 6-speed IMT clutchless manual which we are sampling. The engine starts at the push of a button and settles into a quiet idling. Even the engine noise is hardly heard inside the cabin. Also, there are no such unwanted vibrations, especially on the steering wheel or the gear lever. Now, this IMT version is a little different because it doesn't have a clutch pedal. So, to move ahead, you just have to keep your right foot on the brake pedal, slot it in first gear, and slowly start releasing the brake pedal. You will see the car slowly advances ahead. You can accelerate, and as the revs build, you can start shifting the gears without having to think about pressing the clutch or anything. So it's the same case when you have to downshift. In fact, the car is very smart to let you know that you are in the wrong gear. So it's showing me on the instrument cluster that I shouldn't be in the 6th gear. Now I'm in the 5th gear and I'm slowed down. Now it's beeping and telling me to please shift down. Now there's another good thing about this IMT version. For example, I'm in 2nd gear and have come to a complete halt. Still, I can just accelerate and move ahead without any hassle. So, in bumper to bumper traffic, this one can act like an automatic. There's no need to shift any gear. This is quite a rev happy and refined engine, allowing you to rev till its red line at 6300 rpm. Power delivery is quite linear, and though it does take time to progress, it never felt underpowered. The only thing is you will have to constantly shift to lower gears and plan well while overtaking. The in-gear acceleration and spring timings suggest the same. But then the gear shifts are smooth, and since there's no clutch pedal, your left leg is always at ease. Now, I've read and heard about this, the rollback issue with the IMT. Well, I think it's not really an issue or a problem, but more of a confusion, because one should understand that the proper automatic variants of the Seltos get a hill hold function. This one doesn't get it. So it will act like a manual on a upslope. But the good thing is that you let go of the brake pedal, accelerate a bit, and it starts going ahead without any hassle. The ARAI rated fuel economy of this trim is 16.5 kmpl. In our test, it returned 10.15 kmpl in the city and 17.74 kmpl on the highway. Now, 3 turns lock to lock is a bit of an extra effort, but then the steering is light and makes the car easy to drive. While taking some corners, you do feel a little more feedback from the steering would have been delightful for an SUV that drives and behaves like a car. And unless you're too fast in a corner, body roll is manageable and it sticks to its line. The Goodyear tires offer satisfactory grip, but brakes could have had a better bite and do not provide that assurance as you get with all disc brakes. Nonetheless, they work well and drop the anchor quick as portrayed in the figures. Now, the 16-inch alloys and 190mm ground clearance give it sufficient height to go over obstacles and bumps without scraping its underbody. Besides, its suspension setup is well tuned for our road conditions, taking potholes and broken roads in its stride with ease. Though a little on the firmer side, it irons out any bouncy feel and offers a well-balanced ride. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, we've measured the car for its actual space inside. Here's a tabular chart comparing its space with its competitors. This chart shows that the Seltos is a sufficiently large and spacious car as compared to its competition. And you can feel it as soon as you step in. It does have a no-fuss cabin with on-point ergonomics and also offers good outward visibility. Even the ideal legroom hints that with all people on board, occupants will not feel cramped at all, whether they are short, tall, or even healthy. Now, this is the HTK Plus version and not the top spec HTX Plus or the GTX versions that you've seen earlier. So, this one does lack some equipment, but the good thing is nothing much has changed in terms of layout and design. And despite a slightly smaller touchscreen and absence of some equipment like a head-up display, purifier and wireless charging point, it's still a nicely laid out dash. We've said this earlier and it still continues to look refreshing. In fact, it has rightly set a benchmark of what we've come to expect from SUVs these days, be it for fit and finish, look and feel, and in general, the quality of materials used inside. That said, the sunroof is small and not a huge panoramic one. Also, there are no ventilated seats in the front. In fact, these are fabric seats and I would have preferred the leatherette ones. The fabric with this lighter color will get spoiled easily. Yet, the beige shade does help in adding to the sense of space while the seats remain quite supportive. With the good amount of legroom and headroom available inside, even tall individuals will be able to find a comfortable seating position, whether in the front or the back seat. Now, in terms of boot space, the area remains the same as the top spec Seltos, but there are no split folding rear seats and what you get is a single backrest as seen in the lower variants. You can drop this backrest flat, so there is still an option to liberate more space even if you lose the versatility to partly use this space in different ways. That said, the 433 liters of boot space is one of the best in its segment with a wide opening for a long and tall boot. Interestingly, it can accommodate an extra large suitcase. Otherwise, 2 large suitcases can fit in with still space for more soft bags. The Seltos, like the Creta for that matter, offers a wide range of options for customers. And not only in terms of features, but engine and transmission options as well. And that too at different price points. No wonder it has managed to ace its game amongst its competitors. It continues to drive growth for the car maker, especially with its extensive array of variants to meet different customer demands. It's got a contemporary design, up-to-date features, plenty of engine gearbox options, and a raft of modern gadgetry. If you still wish to have more features like terrain modes and driving modes, there's the proper automatic for you. Still, this IMT version at an ex-showroom price of Rs 12.39 lakh is slotted right in the middle of the portfolio, offering the benefits of a manual without the use of a clutch. Yes, it might still take some time for many buyers to warm up to this IMT technology. However, the ones who adopt it will easily get used to it. Thank you for watching and liking our videos. For those who haven't subscribed yet, do press this button on the screen and also the bell icon to stay updated with all the happenings in the automotive world.